Yeah, g'day, trendsetters here going out there in YouTube land. Hope you're having a wonderful day in the big wide world. Welcome to the Hex Late Show again, back for another episode, another weekly show, and we're glad to have you all with us tonight. And we're an outbound messaging service for the number one crypto in the world. And if you thought that was Bitcoin, you'd be wrong. It's actually Hex Crypto. It is the number one crypto in my mind. Day 43. How are you, mate? What's cracking?
I'm good, mate. How are you? How are you going?
You're having a bad hair day, mate. You're on. Hey, what's going
I'm having
on
a bad armpit hair day, mate.
Yeah. Well, how about that? Armpit. I thought it might have been you couldn't leave your house because you couldn't get a haircut or something like that.
No, I'm just having some technical issues today, and I thought if I leave the camera off, it's going to be easier for me.
Yeah, right. Very good. Well, hey, what a big week we've had, triple audit security. How's that? 100% uptime, immutable smart contract code, the Hex crypto, paying trust.
That's what Hex is all about, mate.
To stakers.
That's what Hex is all about, mate. That's why we're here. Because we love this thing that's just this code, this contract. No one's going to be messing with it. No one's going to be changing it. There's no room for there's no room for anyone messing it up. It's
and we want to grow perfect. It. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful that we want everyone to know about it, and that's why we're on the World Wide Web, broadcasting around the world on the Discourse Syndicate Network. And tell all your friends, tell your barber, tell your lawnmower man, tell your pool guy, tell everyone about it to get over here and check it out, because boy oh boy, isn't it a wonderful journey, the Hex journey? Hey, we got our regular crew. We got Jexxa J. How you going, mate?
Hey guys, how are we all?
Of course, Bluey. How you going, mate? What's cracking? Oh, we got the tangents arrived.
Hey, uNrekt.
Awesome.
What's
awesome
up?
Stuff. Look at that. Oh, mate, living the dream.
What's going on, guys?
Did you see Hex?
Hey,
comment. This is your
no. What's that?
the old bedroom in the backyard. Back there. You're gonna give us a little show later on.
Well, you never know.
Maybe not. Is he frightened?
Hey, me. Oh, look at that. That was me gay. That was the end of me gay time. Look at that.
Right.
Hey,
so who saw the today?
Sorry, I missed all that.
Righto.
Who caught the stream today? Who caught the Richard Hart stream?
Oh,
yep, I saw it.
Yeah, it was nice.
So,
nice to see him back,
Good on
hey,
you.
dude, do you know what they took out of that stream? Man, I remember not too long ago, Richard Hart was talking about being like 260 pounds, right? And now he's like 230 pounds. It's like he's taking like the fitness thing and the health thing very, very seriously. And I think that should be an inspiration to everyone. Losing 30 pounds is
especially when you're staying at hotels for a month. That's not a bad effort. Or the big buffet every morning for breakfast.
He lost 10% of his.
Well, you know what I took out of that? I was listening to his saying the first thing was, I'm not going to explain. PulseChain is all going along nicely, and I'm not going to explain it to you. It's too complicated for all you simpletons out there. So you just don't you worry about that. Right. The next one, he offered his testicles to a wrecked pleb to suck his balls.
That was my favourite part of the whole stream.
And he hates pussy.
That was my favourite part of the whole stream when he told that guy to suck his balls.
The chat definitely lit up when he made that comment. That was old school Richard. So, all the non-cussing that he's been practicing for so long just bottled up, and he had to let it loose.
Hey, we had a few good words about our thumbnail today. We had a bit of don't like it about our clickbait. Hey, what do you reckon? Your clickbait, expensive taste.
Oh yeah, nice. I just tweeted it out tweeted out that we're on. Oh, but now it's yeah. Nice, very nice.
I might send her.
And Expensive Taste is a new Cutthroat. She just entered the Cutthroats room. So big welcome to her.
I was talking to Markable Thoughts, and he goes, "Yeah, apparently she didn't know that she had to check with KNTX whether it was the real uNrekt pirate sending her a message." He's like, "You got in there before us." What? I was like, hey, "Mate, why wouldn't I? You gotta be quick, mate."
Is she coming on as a guest?
Oh, I'll send her a link. I'm not sure. It could be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because it's just the time zones in America across their continent differ. So sometimes it's in the morning for some places, and then it's like stupid o'clock at other times. A bit like you tangent up in the middle of the night doing.
I was just about to say, speaking of 1 or 2 a.m., we mistimed. uNrekt and I and Freddie Quotes were going to do an impromptu stream where we get blazed and talk about crypto, kind of like a steak and bake, but just like unplanned. But then Freddie wasn't replying, and then it was like about 2:30 a.m. where I am. Must have been even later where you are, uNrekt. And then I eventually just got too tired and crashed out. And then so it didn't happen. But it was a cool idea.
Hey, I was thinking about your steak.
And you know what they say, it's before they counts.
Hey, I was thinking about your steak and bake. So you get baked, but do you make steaks?
Yo, so that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's a stoner's steak and bake, man. They set out with good intentions and never quite get around to it.
It's sort of like I try not to ever do any crypto stuff on stream. Hey, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy.
Hello.
So it's hard to, if we were to do steaks while we're on that stream, you guys would just have to take my word for it because I wouldn't want to be doing it actually on stream.
Yeah.
And also, Freddie does this thing called Iron Lung at the start of the stream, which I'm basically completely rinsed and am pretty not able to function on any kind of technical capability level. So yeah, we're gonna have to work out how that's gonna work.
I like the fact they actually try and keep talking about hex and things like that. It's
Jexxa, that's funny that you mentioned that, right? Because on the first one, I was like, this is going to be awesome. I was like, this is going to be awesome. We're going to get stoned and talk about crypto. And then once I was like really rinsed, I was like, oh shit, these guys actually want to talk about crypto. And I'm like, have no idea what's going on. I think at one point I tried to explain something about how something works. And then I realized I was just like, not even sure if what I was saying was right. Had to retract it and be like, guys, I take all that back. I'm not sure if that's even right. It was tough. It was tough. But Dave was doing an excellent job of holding it together and actually talking like sense about crypto.
Okay. Dave's a Jedi Knight, man. He's a Jedi Knight.
If you know what you're talking about, that's good.
Mm.
Well.
On Sammy, all right?
Plenty of things to talk about,
Sammy's got my favorite top on, the Hex Queen.
Got my Hex Queen top. How are you guys? All right. How's your week's been? All right.
Yeah, we're going well.
Awesome.
It's been an exciting week. Lots of drama going around.
Has it? What? Oh my god.
That's what I was saying in chat. I think when there's not much price action, everyone gets a little bit bored and to find other things to keep them busy.
I know, right? I've been going off. I've just been trying to stay out of it. I just shut up.
Just keep out of that drama.
So, out of all the noise and the drama, do we have any interesting takeaways from all of that?
Well,
take Richard at his word.
Oh, I know that I was wrong because Richard Hart obviously cleared it up on his stream today about like the 18th to the 11th because I actually thought there was some merit to the fact that 2 years ago on the 18th of 2019 he announced the launch for Hex, and I thought that there might be a correspondence there. But it's software. It's it's a fairly long bow, but
you're in software. You're a pretty brave person if you try and work towards a date just because it's got some.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
I know, right? How do you even get that? Like, I don't understand how they even try to make sense that meant something. Like, it's just.
Yeah, it was a stretch.
And on the
There's
flip
been
side
some
of that,
interesting
Jexxa, the other side of it is like when people say, "Oh, maybe he'll like wait and delay it for some sentimental." I'm like, hell no. He would never wait a single minute just for some kind of sentimental reason. You would launch as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So delays and bring it forward and stuff like that. But you know, the thing for me was I don't get into that whole thing of like just guesswork. But the thing that made me think that it was legit was when that guy Brent, who's known as being reasonably close to Richard in terms of friendship proximity, made that comment where he was like, "Hey, one of the things on my poll was like the same date in a different time zone." The fact that he made that clarification, obviously he was just doing it for the lols, or like he was just maybe pointing that out of interest, like, oh, hey, this one that these other people are saying happens to also coincide with mine if you do a time shift adjustment for different time zones around the world. But I took that as like, oh, whoa, for him to bother to point that out means something, like, you know, and obviously
I agree. I was caught on that hook as well. So
and then the dramas are really people's reactions. The dramas are really people's reactions to it.
Yeah,
and then people's
reactions
to people's reactions. And then people's reactions to people's
reactions.
reactions.
Snowball effect. Yeah.
So
I guess the takeaway was we still don't know any dates about when Pulse is going to launch. From, as uNrekt has pointed out, technically everything seems to be going according to plan. There is a few technical things they're working through, but Richard thought that was too techie for a stream. So that's fine. I noticed in one of the Hex groups on Telegram, someone had posted, they'd done a quick overview on some of the transactions they've been looking at on the Block Explorer, and they dug through one particular address and found a swap transaction. I think it was ETH Pulse or something to Fox token on a DEX. So that was done on the testnet, as far as I can tell. So there is things happening in the background there.
Well, let's talk about. Can we talk about the chain?
I would love Richard Hart to just go deep into the weeds on the tech stuff just for a stream. I would love that.
Yeah,
just to sit back and listen.
But remember, there's some stuff that he deliberately doesn't say because he doesn't want to give any potential competitors, that could be an existing chain or someone who's launching a new chain, to have early insight into some of the things that might be able to set PulseChain apart.
Look, absolutely. Anything that he would deem
sensitive. You're right though. He could work that out and be like, "There's some stuff I can't say." But
just because we can learn so much. We can learn we do learn so much from him, and he's and
he might be surprised. He might be surprised that there might be more people within the Hex community that are actually at that level of software engineering knowledge that it might not be completely lost on everyone. And also, he could just warn people at the start of the stream and be like, "Yo, look, this particular stream might not be for everyone. It's going to be like a high-level technical discussion, so that people can just be like, not interested."
He did say that.
Look, you don't have to understand every single phrase. You don't have to understand every little thing that someone says.
Also, a good point.
Like you start picking up on different things, and then that might get you to go read like some papers or something and learn more. So it's always good. And I know that a lot of people, might go over some people's heads, and it would definitely go over my head. But I would listen to it nonetheless, because I think I can, get some knowledge out of it.
Man, that's another good point that could actually prompt people to go and look things up. They're like, what the hell is that? Like, what's this particular thing he's talking about? And go and look it up and learn more. Yeah.
He did say the front end for Uniswap. He said that was up and running. So
he also said that the next testnet is going to have. Sorry, Sammy. He said the next testnet is going to have the balances of the fucking sacrifice leaderboard shit, which is actually going to be pretty cool.
It's awesome.
And it sounds like it's definitely going to be a bridge, even if it does have admin keys.
Really?
Sorry, say that again, Bluey. I switched off for a second when you said that.
He said he also said there was definitely going to be a bridge, even though it's maybe going to have admin keys.
Yeah.
He said that was
But you can't bridge to a test net. Like, so I think he means when mainnet launches, there'll definitely be a bridge.
No, a bridge to Ethereum. And also a bridge with all the ERC20 pairs.
Yeah, but a bridge from Ethereum to what? Like, you can't bridge to a test net because then you're basically just binning your money. Like, he must mean when mainnet. He means in line with mainnet launch.
Couldn't you do a testnet ETH bridge to testnet Pulse?
Go between Robson and
yeah, that's actually a cool idea.
Yeah, and all the ERC20s are going to be bridged, so we're going to be able to, like what people have been speculating, we're going to be able to bridge. We're going to be able to add liquidity on both sides of ERC20s and PRC20s.
Hey, did they ever update the ETH testnet?
Like the liquidity pairs. You were saying, it's such a good opportunity because everyone's getting free coins. It's a perfect opportunity to be a liquidity provider.
So if anyone is just
talk about Hex,
well, so if anyone is just hang on, if anyone's listening to our discussion, they might be wondering what we're talking about. What's going on is there's going to be the biggest airdrop in the history of crypto is about to happen. And what's happening is the whole ETH network is going to get forked. What that means is that there's going to be a new network that has the same history as the Ethereum network. It's going to be called Pulse. And every single ERC20 token that exists on the Ethereum network is going to be available on the Pulse network as a PRC20 token. So you're going to get all these free tokens, and it's like going to be this new network, and it's almost like a bit of an experiment to see what happens and what's going to get value, what's not going to get value. I believe that Pulse is going to have value for sure, right? Because a lot of people are interested in that new token. And then I think that the Hex token for sure is going to have value on the Pulse network. Now, what's going to be interesting is what other tokens are going to have value. Are the links going to have, is the link going to have value on that side? What else is it? Is Shibu Inu going to have value on the Pulse network? Like there's all these ERC20s, and they're going to be on the PRC20 side. Which ones are going to have value? Which communities are going to come across and claim their tokens? It's going to be interesting to watch what happens.
We know there's definitely one community that's going to come across and claim their tokens, and there's a fair chance it's going to have a lot of value as well. And that is the Hex community. So that's if you're trying to look for the tie-in of why this is all happening, Hex has suffered the fate of high fees on Ethereum. So Richard's hand was pretty much forced. So we definitely know that Hex is coming across. So like they're saying in the chat, Richard's message from today was buy Hex now. So I think that's a fair summary.
Something else.
Yeah, and you'll still probably do better like just staking Hex rather than providing liquidity on both sides. That's just kind of something for if you want to play with something else.
Yeah,
there's going to be plenty of opportunity to make yield on the Pulse network, whether it be in the Hex contract, or whether it be locking up your Pulse, delegated stakes, or whether it be providing liquidity across. There's going to be opportunities to do that with your PRC20 tokens as well. So there's going to be lots of opportunity to get yield for staking in all different areas.
Yeah,
there's 52,000 members. Sorry, Jex.
No, you go, Sam.
52,700 members in the Telegram Pulse chat now.
That's haven't even launched. It's still getting worked through now, and that's before majority of people even are probably aware that they're getting a free airdrop.
Over 70,000 stakers as well.
Yep. Yep. So
How many users?
So we
How
are
many users do
scaling.
you-
We are scaling. We'd love to grow this. We'd love to grow this network bigger and bigger. We'd love to see this scale much larger than what it is now. And it's great that we've got all of the Hexicans that come and support the Discourse Syndicate Network and the Hex Late Show and the conversations that we have. But I think there's so much more potential. So make sure you tell all your friends, get them all in. I know that there's efforts being made in all different ways for all different, diversity within the community to bring people into this wonderful product. That Hex
uNrekt,
is.
did you see the Crypto Heartbeat video where he was talking about how he's reaching out to I can't remember the name for it, but sort of like not-for-profit, non-profit organizations that require
they're the perfect
their own
business.
yield to fund like charitable deeds and stuff.
Exactly. Hey, thanks, HexKong. HexKong's he's a cutthroat and he's one of the OGs, and he does a lot of work and does a lot of valuable stuff for the community as well around the grounds.
Does anyone know?
Good to see you, Jordan. Thanks. Good to have you
mate.
with us. Good to have you with us.
Does anyone
mate.
know or have an estimate of how many ETH users there are?
Oof.
Like
ETH holders,
You
or
can look it up.
yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to find. I can have.
I think you just look it up on Etherscan. It should have active users. Like it should have active.
how's
Sorry, not active users. It should have number of unique addresses that have some amount of ETH or ERC20 tokens within that address. It doesn't mean it's an active user, though. Obviously,
On Etherscan,
yeah.
You'd think there'd be millions.
Okay.
Would there be millions? There'd be millions of people who potentially will be eligible for this airdrop.
There's nearly 2. Hang on.
Well, remember, this is the same problem as when anyone tries to sort of define number of people. Adoption on the Bitcoin network, right? There's two things that work against each other. One is that a single person or entity can have multiple addresses, and there can be one single address that represents multiple users. So it's like you never know for sure, but you can try and estimate, especially using like on-chain analytics. But
there's over 50 million
it'll be
unique
huge.
addresses. Over 50 million
unique addresses.
So you would imagine you would imagine that this airdrop is going out to at least 1 million people.
Yes. I think that's a very fair and conservative estimate. You're saying that 1/50th of the addresses are either unique individuals and would participate, like as in be aware of it and come over and at least.
Well, maybe not necessarily aware of it. Like if there's only 50,000 plus people in the Pulse chat, like they're the really onto it ones. But there could be still 10 times or 100 times that who don't even know it's happening. Good
point. The number of people in the Telegram group is probably a good metric for awareness.
Awareness, yeah, but there's a lot of silent investors as well. But it's not like it's advertised anywhere. Like I searched the news and found a couple of articles and just post them, but there's not a lot about it. But hey guys, how's the Godwell coming out? How bizarre is that?
Yeah. Crazy.
And he seemed like a really cool guy who's like in it for all the right reasons as well.
Hey, can I just do a follow up with Jexxa? Jexxa, mate. Can you remember a few weeks ago you had a backstage pass to the hex.com website that had been updated?
Yeah.
Is there you got any more information about where we're at with that? Because the hex.com website's really good, and
I think it was made a little bit more public. That link that I had has been shared around a little bit more. I checked in on it the other day, and what I call the cake decorating, the cake decorating side of things hadn't changed that much. It was I think the format there is pretty much how it's going to be. Whether some of the content had changed, I didn't sort of pay close enough attention.
I saw something in one of the chats about it. I think it sounds like he's still working on it.
I don't think you ever stop working on something like that, do you?
I guess, yeah.
So what do you do with these people? Like, that you're onboarding, and they still have this perception that, like, you say, I've said to a few of my friends and said, look, hey, go and get some, have a look at this hex.com and do yourself a favor and read up on it. And they're like, oh no, it's already pumped. Well, what's another shiny shit coin that I can buy?
Yep.
I'm like, no, you're not listening to me. Go to hex.com and forget all the other garbage. You
know what I say to people? If everyone in crypto never bought a coin that has gone up a significant number of multiples, what would you buy? No one would buy anything, because it's just that most coins, you only become aware of them once they've already pumped. You're not looking and seeing, and actually, importantly, most of those coins, they're the people that got in on those ultra low prices. It's not on the chart, because those pricks were like on the private pre-sale. My uncle's brother's cousin, my dog, like, got me the freaking intro to be able to invest in this project, and no one knows that I got it for like 100 times cheaper than any other prick. And then the dude who made it just prints it for free, right? So, the cost basis of some people within that ecosystem is so much lower than what you're actually seeing on the chart. Whereas Hex has a more honest beginning where it's practically all on the chart, right? It's all there because the Uniswap pair was there when even the adoption amplifier, so even in its launch period. So I think I would highlight to them that it's more visible on the chart how much the price has gone up, but that is not dissimilar to other projects out there, and people still get rich as hell on those projects after they've already gone. So just because something's done 100x doesn't mean it can't do another 100x. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. So, and if that's it. That was my whole point.
No, good point.
Did you guys? So it's hard to work out the timing of when to cut in, kind of thing. Sorry if I cut you off then.
No, not at all.
Did you guys see the those lists of how much the furus are getting paid? Like Chaos thinks it. And then there was also, and I went back to what's that Cobain dude or whatever on Twitter. Someone had published like how much each of these influencers are getting paid to like just pump whatever crap they get paid to pump. Like
who on this stream's getting paid?
Not me.
I get paid every day, mate.
Yeah.
Apart from being the best innovation in the world, the true innovation, the synthetic compound interest.
It was big bucks, though, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But it's also like I'm surprised it's taken that long for that information to
become public,
circulated.
It's happened in the past, but just not so broadly. So sometimes, usually, it'll just be one person getting called out. Someone will contact them by DM and say, hey, I've got this project I want you to promote. How much do you charge? They tell them, and then they just dox them by putting that private conversation out in public and be like, look, this influencer, because obviously at the time the influencer doesn't know that it's a trap. So I have seen it in the past, but just not so broadly applied to all influencers. But we kind of all knew that they were doing that. Right?
That was evident when I think Ivan on Tech asked for like 35K or something to talk about Hex way back at the beginning. And so if you're wondering why Hex isn't getting shilled on these channels, no one's paying them. No one in the Hex community, anyone. No one wants to give
it's not that there aren't Hexagon OGs that can't afford it. It's just the fact that there are enough people who are willing to do it for free. They don't need to.
I don't even think. I think it's more than that. I think, and for me, it is definitely it's principle, and it's how do we break this current system? The system is just fraught with getting people rolled. So the way it's set up is influencers are just. They don't care about their followers or their subscribers. It's about how they can make a buck off them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think so. It's become a principle thing where no one would pay for anyone's for these Furies. Them talking about it means nothing to us. Like we can get traction.
They're compromised. Yeah.
What would they get paid in anyway? I mean, Hex. No, because all the inflation's getting paid to stakers.
That's right.
So, so that's already going to people. That's already going to the people who are actually invested and believe in the project, believe in the product, I should say. So there's nothing left for those guys, you know. Oh,
and you can bet your money that all of these, whatever they're, and you can bet your money whatever they're getting paid in, if they're getting paid in whatever crypto they're getting paid in, they're dumping that price.
Oh, hell yeah!
Probably shilling it, reviewing it, dumping.
They'd be selling straight into the pump off the back of their videos, without a doubt.
Absolutely, 100%.
So what's going on with the hex chart? What's going on with the hex chart?
Some hex early on, right?
Sorry, do you guys remember when Ivan on Tech got caught out for someone did the chain analysis and saw that there were wallets that were buying up the coins before him announcing them to a paid group, and then and then those same wallets dumping immediately after the announcement. And he just claimed it was a bug. He was like, "Oh, there was a bug that somehow someone not related to my team got access to the list before we released it. So it's like someone like hacked in and found out what the coins were, and then and they were the ones that executed that." And everyone knew that was complete bullshit. But the moral of this story is he drove that narrative. He never apologized. On his channel, he never talked about it in a video. He only addressed it on Twitter. And in his videos, he just pretended like nothing wrong ever happened. And because when you've got that level of following, Richard even said it once. He's like, if you've got a big enough following, you drive your narrative, everyone lives in your world. That's it. And that's the moral of the story. And to a degree, Alex probably could have done that as well, where he could have just pretended like nothing wrong what happened, but instead he just went like running and hiding in the hills.
But he also, I was just.
But actually, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, he also had people like after him.
Okay, so he done that exact same thing that you just talked about then as well, and he was supposedly one of the most trusted advice givers in crypto.
Who?
So what does that say?
Ivan or Alex?
Alex,
I know. That's how gullible older Australian investors are.
Did you say old or?
Older,
it was a pretty
they're gullible.
It was a pretty good act. Like
he did, I was about to say he came across as a very sort of upstanding kind of like knowledgeable.
He was a family man.
He played the family card, and
he was. And he was into traditional markets and doing, interviews with traditional finance people and mortgage, the mortgage market, their property market. He was into all traditional stuff, and that's how he lured people into crypto. And obviously, he got bent up. He got greedy.
He came across very sensible, didn't he?
Yeah, he made comments about the government and real estate markets and stuff that were actually quite sensical, and that helped give him the appearance that he was, what's this say? Create?
What's going on? We need more girls in Hex. Sammy, what are you doing? What are you doing for us?
I'm getting heaps of chicks into Pulse. I've got a whole lineup. When Pulse launches, I've got to go around like the whole of Melbourne and help my friends out to get into it. So there'll be heaps more people. And, as soon as the people come into Pulse, they see Hex, and Hex will go crazy because everyone can afford to stake and unstake. And then, you'll see more chicks.
That is a barrier,
chicks. I know so many chicks in Hex, like a lot that you guys don't even know at all.
Oh, well, that's about right, I get laid almost every day of the week.
Yo, I got an interesting question on the stream.
Monday, almost on Tuesday, almost on Wednesday, almost on Friday.
Enjoy it while you can still get it up, mate.
Guys,
how dare you? Don't go there. I got balls of steel, eh?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry, darling.
At the end of the stream, on comments that I didn't see because I didn't get to them all, just a stream I did to tell everyone that I was on this stream. Red Squirrel asked me, gun to the head, you can only hold one cryptocurrency for like basically, I guess, forever, sort of like, or long term. What would it be? Right now, I know uNrekt is going to pick Hex. I'm predicting. But for those of you who for some of you guys, I don't know whether you would pick Hex or Pulse. And does it count if you have to pick which chain? Maybe if you have to pick which chain's Hex. What do you guys reckon? What are you guys going to go with? You guys can set the rules, by the way. Whether you can just say Hex or whether you have to pick the chain.
What did you pick, Tangent?
Oh, I can't say mine.
You chose an
Spit it out, Tangent. Spit it out, bro.
I think at this stage, for me, it has to be Bitcoin. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys.
Really?
I'm sorry. It has to be.
Really?
It has to be. But at least that's going to give some diversity.
Righto, see you later, mate. That's enough of that. Don't come in here shilling shit coins, mate.
To give the context though, it's because they're saying if it's hold forever, I still have that thing about Lindy effect and stuff like that. But if you ask me again in a couple of years, it might be Hex. You know what I mean?
You've got Stockholm syndrome, mate.
It could be that as well. Look, it could be a bunch of things. It could be something from my childhood. But what are you guys going to pick?
For me, Hex is I've said it's the apex predator of value.
Which chain? But which chain though, Bloobum?
Oh, PulseChain for sure. That's gonna be ridiculous when people are able to chuck $50 on it. When teenagers are going to be able to chuck $50 on it if they want to.
Yeah, wow.
By the way, this is not financial advice for people under 18. And in fact, it's not financial advice for anyone.
We've already said buy Hex. So I think we've blown that cover already.
We always play a disclaimer, though, that this is entertainment and this is just training education.
It is entertainment. We hope it's
that makes sense, though. I think that's probably the most logical answer, Hex on PulseChain, right? Sammy?
Yeah, he's going to kick me off. But you know what?
She's going to get some.
She's like Shiba Inu or some shit.
Not that bad. I would have thought Bitcoin because it was
Oh my god! Are you being serious?
Yeah,
it's called the Hex Late Show. Do you not notice the time?
I actually when I first saw Bitcoin when it first came out, I saw it on the TV on the news, and I saw someone bought a shitload of it, and I saw the price go up, and I'm like, I've got to get some of that, and 8 years later, I get into crypto. But I love Bitcoin. I love what it did, and I love that it birthed this whole new ecosystem of cryptocurrency. We wouldn't be here wasn't for Bitcoin. But having said that, Pulse is going to have a huge advantage on the other networks. I mean, what other chains can you transact for as cheap as Pulse? Do you guys know? I don't use any of them, but there is going to be trade. It's going to be so cheap, and every other coin is stuck because the whole ecosystem is being dragged underwater by Vitalik's greedy robbing people of the gas fees. So, we can live a good life.
Hang on.
Now, is there any chains that do it that cheap as Pulse will do it?
Okay, so Tangent. Would you change your opinion based on what's coming down the line in terms of regulation for Bitcoin? Because
are you talking about the ability for them to manipulate the price using ETFs? Or
let's look at it as a whole, because this is why I think I'd rather be in Hex. But okay, so yes, the ETF thing's coming down the line, and that has we're already seeing the markets will start to get pushed around with things like that. The amount of regulation that's coming into the space for the VASPs, for stable coins, for any exchange or institution that has a leg in the traditional finance world is going to be immense, to the point where they're going to be locking accounts, banning you from sending funds to particular accounts.
And are you saying that because basically BTC is not dialed in by default into DeFi, so Yeah, you might be convincing me here a little bit that like you need something that's both censorship resistant and able to be easily bridged into other. So
Yeah.
you know, look, I've got really high hopes for Pulse. And if the question had been subtly different, like what do you think is going to be like the best performing, like price performing asset? It certainly would not have been. I would certainly not have picked Bitcoin. Yeah, these are definitely good counters and worth considering.
I'm concerned that Bitcoin's getting too corporatized and institutionalized.
And look what happened in El Salvador, right?
And targeted.
Yeah.
And look what happened in El Salvador. They're going to use the Lightning Network, and that's custodial. And so all of their wallets, those people give up their information to get that.
Remember that the Lightning Network itself is not custodial. However, the wallets that they are choosing to roll out that program in El Salvador, those wallets are custodial systems. But Lightning Network by default is non-custodial.
Are you sure about that?
I'm absolutely 1,000,000% sure of that. Yes, the Lightning Network is non-custodial. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So the Lightning channels are opened up using, where you sign, like you co-sign, like you both sign shit, and then either party can terminate that agreement and get their shit back. Like as in, it is like it's cryptographically secure, non-custodial. Yeah, it's a common misconception about a Lightning Network that it's like a. And there's you might be thinking of the what's it called? There's that other one that the one that they use between exchanges that's owned by freaking Blockstream or whatever. That shit is custodial.
Okay, and so in terms of practicality, they are KYCing every Salvador for them to be using there.
Yes, for that Chivo wallet or whatever, for people to get their $30 worth of free Bitcoin on Chivo wallet, whatever, they have to KYC.
Oh, that's what they do. Right, okay.
When I think about BTC, the lack of like a good like anonymity like tool for me just puts it out. Like just couldn't go with it. That just puts it out completely. So for me, it's going to be something that's EVM. But at this point in time, can you even, because Pulse doesn't exist yet, right at this moment, I mean, it has to be Hex on Ethereum, right now. But when Pulse comes out, I mean, look, what's better, BTC or BTC? Oh, and we're going to have this discussion now. What's better, BTC or Hex? Hex is better.
Sorry.
BTC has a better network effect. It's got better network effect.
Old-fashioned.
But Hex has got better features.
Before you go down that path, just on something that you said midstream, I agree with you, and that is, I think, clear. Everyone should agree that EVMs have won that battle. Like in terms of, like I think non-EVM smart contract platforms are going to suffer and not be able to succeed. That battle is over. So.
Finn Beer knows what's going on. Hey.
Hey, how cute was Richard Hart today on the stream? He looked so cute. He's lost weight, and the poor thing had COVID.
I liked his jacket.
Fantasizing about him.
That jacket was sick. I
liked his Australia rant. How he was hanging shit in Australia.
Oh hell yeah!
That was outrageous.
I was loving that.
I was like,
yes, Australia is shit right now.
No, it's not. Stop saying that. It's the best country in the world. How dare you?
uNrekt, pipe down. Australia sucks balls right now. It sucks balls, bro.
Although I love uNrekt's attitude. I love uNrekt's attitude where it's like,
I love Australia. I don't like shit that's going down in Australia.
Just ignore it. Ignore it. Just ignore it. Go outside. A beautiful day.
At my house.
Who gives a fuck what those tossers got to say?
Area.
Yeah. Day 43. You know, whenever anyone in crypto, anyone that's outside of crypto claims that they are going to like regulate or stop something to do in crypto that we all know is actually not possible because it's legitimately decentralized, and we just like laugh that shit off. We have to do that with this ridiculous government overreach as well, man. You've just got to laugh at these clowns.
Yeah, it's like
You've just got to be like, they're never going to be able
Yeah.
to take our freedom away and have
They
that
want to
kind of
ban
attitude.
dancing and singing.
I like
Like, well,
uNrekt. Yeah, I like
guys,
uNrekt's attitude on this. Fuck them.
I
Yeah,
agree.
absolutely. Fuck them. No,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Can I
right.
can I give
No,
you guys
right.
an example?
No,
Just
not-
before,
they're not-
like, I like
no.
your defiant attitude. I fucking love that shit. That is important. That is so important. You know, having that attitude. But let's just take a step into reality right now. If, like, you know, I run a business. Okay, so for me to run my business, I need to have like these barcodes in every part of my business, where people walk into my business and they these barcodes, they have to be there. If they're not there, and someone walks in and checks up on me, I get fined. My business gets fined. Okay, so what they're making,
Don't
they're
pay
making
it.
business
Don't
owners.
pay it.
Yeah, just don't pay it.
Okay, mate.
Take it to court.
Okay, all right. Okay, I don't want to be.
They're deputizing the business owners as pseudo police.
Exactly.
Take
This is
the money
this is-
from my cold
this
dead
is what
hand,
they do.
motherfucker.
This is
Yeah.
well, they can just freeze your bank account, mate. They don't need to, and this is why I love crypto. Okay,
Yes.
obviously, because this is what it comes down to. You say take the money from my cold dead hands, they would need to do that with the crypto, right? But they can't. They can just freeze your bank accounts when it comes to unpaid fines. When it gets to a certain point, I don't like the fact that they are making businesses do their dirty work. I really don't. I resent that, you know. And that's what I'm talking about here. That's what annoys me, because I deal with it every day in my business. So yes, I love the defiant attitude, but in reality, we're being forced to do things. We're
I know,
forced
mate.
to do it.
I'll tell you that
know?
way. Like, it's
not right.
a hindrance.
It's
It's
not
a
right,
hindrance
man.
to business. It's and like, I mean, look at the businesses are struggling. Businesses are closing down. There's a decoupling between, you know, what's going on in the economy and the markets. Like, you can see the markets are manipulated. You can see that it's all smoke and mirrors. And these clowns that they're wheeling out to talk about something are incompetent. So, like, why would you even listen to them? Like, why would you even like pay any attention to that
know
garbage?
I just want to clarify one thing. I love Australia, the country, the people. I love Australia, the country of people. I've had enough with these fuckwit politicians making stupid rules and just imposing them on us with no mandate. That's what I can't stand.
Yeah.
Richard
And
said
we
today
should
in the
get rid of
stream
all of them.
about how he's like these unelected mofos, and not necessarily in the case you're talking about, that they might be elected, but it's like they don't truly represent the people, and they just take the piss and just do what they want, and just it's fucked.
We need to vote every single party doesn't matter which side of politics they're on. It's irrelevant.
The Pirate Party.
If they've been in power over this period of time, we need to vote them out.
Yeah,
right? Because they've let this shit happen. So we need to vote them out, and
it's very hard to that because that institution has been there for so long, and I know they're broke and they just keep printing money out of nothing. But like, you know, it's very hard to like roll back all that incumbency and layer and complexity, and basically start with a fresh system. Like, and then what will that fresh system look like? Because those states, they guard their territory with like fiercely, and that's why they could never agree. And that's why when they try to do some harmonisation of laws, that it ends up being we're New South Wales, so we're doing it our way, and Queensland says the same thing, but we just want to duplicate it. We want to put our logo on it. Like, it's just crazy stuff, and they never let go of that. And then I found out that a lot of the like safety legislation in the area that I worked in was really just to protect the mining royalties. It wasn't about keeping people safe. It was about making sure that they were still getting their coin. The government was still getting their cut. I was like, what? It was unbelievable. But anyway, how do you fix it?
I think what we
How
need
do
is
you fix
mass
it?
non-compliance. Mass non-compliance with a smile on your face.
Hell yes.
Sorry, not doing that. Bugger off. That's
I
it.
think it was
Louis,
like-
just got to do it.
I would have thought we would have seen that by now if it was going to happen.
It'll evolve.
A lot of subjects.
push,
Who's doing
the more
push
you'll
about PulseChain?
Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the ending that matters in crypto. Say what?
Me as well, Sammy.
What'd you say?
What was that?
Who's
I wanna
feeling
move on to
bullish
crypto.
about PulseChain? I
I'm
am.
super
No,
bullish.
I want to talk about Hex first. Come on, let's talk about
Yeah.
Hex.
Hex is still the fucking king.
Because I mean, there's been some really interesting chain analysis on what's been going on. I've seen that there's a Hex audit Telegram chat. It's got Gunther the accountant, and he puts his thought, or he puts his analysis in there, and I find that very useful. And I wanted to pick Tangent's head on the chart, and what are you seeing in the technicals, mate? And how does that match up with some of those fundamentals that?
I've got a chart right here. I'll turn it on.
Some of the top 100 wallets or something like that. Where's the? I mean, because it was it a trend reversal that we saw a couple of days ago, and is that going to continue, or did we see, because we saw it went up and then it came back down again? I mean, and so we've sort of dropped down to in that 21, 22 cent range.
I mean, it's hard to fit or comment on where the fundamentals are impacting on the chart. But I have noticed that this was sort of the downward parabola, like the reverse parabola that I was drawing. And in my opinion, we've broken out of that, So I think we're looking pretty sweet. What were we talking about just then in terms of on-chain and whales and that? Yeah. Ooh.
How do you go about?
I'm not sure, because I haven't seen that exact analysis that you're talking about. I guess
I can probably comment a little bit on.
Oh yeah, Jexxa, go for it.
Jexxa's got the.
So I guess the thing we are seeing is there is still more buyers than sellers, and you look at the chart and you go, well, why is it going down over those last few days? It's because there's still some large accounts that they're ending some pretty decent sized stakes, and they're cashing in, which is fine. That's what it's all about. People are going to take profits along the way, but what it is, it's that redistribution event, and the guys that pick those that hex up from those wallets that have sold, they're actually building our price floor here, because they've picked up at that price. Do you think they really want to ever get rid of it at less than that price? So that's why we see charts do their consolidation and their accumulation phases, and that's pretty much
cool
what we're going through now. So the net result is stake account is above 70,000 now, and that's going up 3-digit figures every day. And buyers are outpacing sells. Just the volume's a little bit lopsided at the moment.
Wow. All right. Well, that's nice. All good. That's a fairly good sort of bullish sentiment, I think, underlying all of the. We're trying to pick up. Obviously, we're trying to read the sentiment, and there's just been lots of silly buggers going on that doesn't concern me, and so I wanted to sort of just sort of get a. That's actually given me a sort of a good gauge, or I feel a little bit more like I know what's going on now, just from what you just said there, Jexxa, and that makes a lot of sense. What you just said as well.
Well, that's people, like earlier guys have picked a lot of coins up pretty cheap, and they might, for them, it's a good time to take a bit of cream off the table. So,
did you guys see those? Did you guys see those bands that Gerardo did that showed if we moved back up into the top level bands, then it was like one of them, the price could have been like $7 sometime next year or something. It was nuts. But even just this this fib retracement tool that I've got here at that top level is like $1.70. Now that this has been dragged down with this new low that got put in at around just below 15 cents. Have you been looking at that?
Sorry, say it again, mate.
Have you been readjusting your fib retracement tool for the fact that this retrace was deeper than we expected?
Yeah, so most of the retracements, we have had were around the 0.618. Yeah, this one you're right, it did go lower. But when you historically look back, most retracements went back and touched the previous high where they started from. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty common on the chart. So I don't think we've done anything that we haven't done many times already.
That's a really good point. This is bullish structure. This coming back down and retesting this high is bullish.
Yep, for sure.
Right.
So yeah, I think the chart's looking good. I think it's a reset to a good average or a longer term trend. Okay. I think most healthy charts do that. So I think this is still a great. It amazes me how good an opportunity there is at the moment for people coming in to buy at this low, and you're still going to double your coins or double your hex.
Yeah, that's right.
To me, I'm amazed that it's taking this long to. I thought it'd be a really. That's not a bad recovery. That's still a V-shaped recovery we're looking at there from the bottom. I just thought it would have been. I thought people would have been just champing at the bit to load up at that level
get in and accumulate that accumulation.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, right, like, think about it. It was only 6 months ago or so, about March or something like that. We were only just cutting through bloody, a cent. We're only just sort of dancing around the cent. That was only like 6 months ago. So, like, come on.
Do you know what it is though?
Can someone address this comment?
Well, I never put that there. Who put that there?
I put it there.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Why?
Look. We get this happens a lot in Hex where people say, "Don't do TA, don't trade."
Calls himself butt fuck. This bloke.
I've got my fast defense to this accusation of TA not being applicable in Hex is, number one, Richard Hart himself on a previous stream said that TA is legit, and also you can still use TA to pick an entry, even if you're going to buy something and literally hold it for the rest of your life. Exactly. It's still worth using TA to get entries and things like that. So, but yeah, I don't take offense when people shit on TA. Right. Some people think it's not real, but
I think you nailed it then. Yeah, you nailed it then, Tangent. From an investor point of view, if you're not looking at a chart and you're just buying, then you've got no clue at all where the market is likely to head or whether you're getting a potentially better buy. If you're not looking at something, you might as well be throwing darts at a dartboard. So,
sorry, just a correction. Buck fut, not. He's apparently representing Australia over at the London Mexican game.
Yeah. How is he getting out of the country? How is he getting out of prison
Buck
island?
Rogers. I don't know. You have to bribe the guards that day. Have to put out.
The problem with TA is that you can also stuff yourself up because the price can get away from you, and so you can think, okay, it's gone up a lot. I'm going to wait for the dip, but then it can still just run up away from you, and so that's why it's stake long.
But then your TA should be able to identify that you're in an uptrend and that there's a risk of that happening. Like if you identify you're in a strong uptrend, then you would be aware that risk is possible, that it's not going to dip. So you get what I'm saying? So I agree with you. It's not a magic bullet. It does not allow you to go, this is definitely where it's going to go. It's definitely going to bottom here locally. I'm going to buy in and then it's going to go up from there. It doesn't let you see the future. It gives you just a statistical advantage over what Jexxa was saying, which is just blindly buying and selling at a random time where you're just not even paying attention to what the price action is doing. So
that's what I do. But I love your TA Tangent. I really do.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
So do I, too.
I like the colours, the shiny things.
We all love the TA because it's hopium. Yeah. We all love the TA because it's hopium. But if you're going to be staking long, it's just start staking and start earning the interest.
And regardless,
whether you get it,
regardless
20
of what
cents, 23 cents,
regardless of personally what you think about TA, I can tell you now, there's probably 80% of crypto that's looking at charts and making decisions based on these indicators. So
Jexxa, you've been right. Jexxa, your TA's been right. You've
I don't know. I've been off the boil a bit lately.
Fuck,
No,
he's just a Larry. He's staring shit. He doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
Something Bloobum where I do agree with you is I do recommend to people to use dollar cost averaging, but particularly I pitch that towards people who are not able to look at a chart or don't want to or don't have the time to do it. So I think dollar cost averaging into something like Hex is a good idea if you, or even for people who do know TA and do understand the chart, because it might do what you're not expecting. So DCA just mitigates that risk. It's a win. It becomes a win-win. If it keeps going down, you're averaging in at lower prices. If it starts to go up, you've already got the first portion of your bag. It basically it puts you in the win-win, and then you can't.
I would normally agree with you wholeheartedly, Tangent. The issue that we have with ETH right now is
sorry, good point.
Yeah,
good point.
Right now, dollar cost averaging on ETH is not really a viable.
Shit, man.
That's a
really good point. That's a really good point because that splits your bag up and you just get smashed.
Yeah, on Pulse, it is going to be like it's going to be easy to DCA. You'll be able to DCA every week with your pay slip.
Well, someone actually said on Twitter, and I hadn't thought of this. I thought it was an excellent comment. Only applies to Hex, by the way. They said owning T-shares is like your dollar cost averaging in every day. So do you get what I'm saying? Like, I know technically it's not the same thing, but it kind of is, right? Like you're getting an accumulation of more Hex every damn day, regardless.
Man, it's your mining. It's like you're a BTC miner. That's what you are. You're just a Hex miner, and you do it.
Yeah. I mean, like that analogy is tighter, but I like the idea of thinking of it like a dollar cost average, like the fact that you're kind of scaling into your position every day. You're getting a small increment every day. Additionally,
the other problem with DCAing with Hex is that if you just buy and stake, you start earning interest immediately. So there's that cost as well. That cost that you're not earning interest and you're just holding.
Good point. So you might potentially be missing out on your bigger pays better bonus and those additional days of not earning the interest. Yeah.
But not only that, it's also the share rate keeps going up. Yeah. So
another good point.
If you wait a few days, you're missing, like the share rate might go up incrementally. And then you miss out on that share rate because it never goes back. So,
all right, you guys win. All in. Everyone go all in. all in immediately. You guys have convinced me. You guys have convinced me. They are really good points.
Hey guys,
the other thing is
Ronnie's question.
Yeah, I know there's been a few questions from Ross. Ronnie's asked a couple of questions.
That one's for Jexxa.
Okay, just quickly about DCAing as well, is like when you say DCA, you can DCA every week over a year, or you can DCA every day over a week, and they're completely different. And so when you say DCA, although it does mitigate risk on the upside and the downside, it is still quite risky, and it means you have to wait. So you've got to have a lot of discipline as well. Whereas if you just buy it and stake it, you're just done and you're earning interest. So yeah. But in terms of
so in terms of time usage and stuff like that, like less stressful, less time usage. These are all amazing points. I'm not sure about this question here. T-shares do pay out every day, so I'm going to the site just to see whether there's this, because this question implies that today there wasn't a payout. There should have been, right?
Yeah.
No, there's payouts every day.
Obviously, it's not liquid into your account. It's just accrues onto your
stake. In terms of why do you not? You don't have access to it every day, but
if you put your
someone asked
a question that popped up.
Sammy said there was a question about the storing a seed phrase.
Some advice about keeping your seed phrase safe. Are mutual crypto wallets a way to keep the seed phrase safe from theft, fire, and flood?
Metal.
So
what store is he up to?
Yeah, so you got to look at things in a spectrum of what you're trying to protect against. The biggest thing you got to protect against in crypto is your own stupid self. So learn how to look after your seeds first and foremost, and not put them online or give them away on anyone online. That's the first thing. But yeah, when you're talking about metal wallets,
not a retard. I'm not a retard.
stupid
self, you said.
So when you're saying crypto metal wallets, what you're referring to is really just a piece of metal that you stamp your seed words onto or store them on metal. They are great from physical damage. That's all they do. If you leave it laying around, it's useless. If you lose it, it's useless. But it's from physical damage. That's what they're designed to do. Yep.
Yeah, I actually did a security audit recently where I got a fresh hardware wallet, and I went and got all my backup seeds and cloned onto that new wallet, and then just made sure it was legit and that I could access the funds through that new device, wiped it, started again with a new phrase. And what I found, interestingly, I didn't know this, and I couldn't actually find information about it on the net, was that all of the wallets that I use, which I think I've pretty much got one of each, all use the same derivation paths. So your seed phrase for your Trezor, actually you can recover it onto like a Ledger or a Kobo or a freaking so I just used a new Trezor to just go through and just use to recover all the seed phrases. And then once you've done that, then you can be confident that, that you actually wrote them down correctly, and that you, and actually I also did like those metal backups with those, I forget which the brand is, but you buy, I think it's Elipal or Elipsal or something like that, where and you just slide the seed phrases into the metal, like you slide it into the slots, and then you've got like that.
So guys, full disclosure here, Jexxa, you actually have something to do with a company that produces some metal plates. Why don't you just give it a plug, because they're actually well priced.
Show your website.
They're well priced. I mean, we're full disclosure here. Jexxa has something to do with the company, so you guys know that. They are an excellent product. I actually have one myself.
I've ordered them as well, and they are great. Yes.
So you can, I mean, they're nothing fancy. They're a steel plate that you stamp your seed words into. They don't do anything more than that. They don't look flash and shiny. They're meant to be pretty low key, but give you that physical protection. If you go to hexsafe.win, there's a link to the sister site, which is bradshawknox.com. And that is, Bradshaw Knox is my company. And from there, you can order what we call the seed vault, and you can back up the seed phrases or pass phrases depending on what pack you order. But it's I've designed it so that it's, like I said, it's no frills, but it's very affordable. So if you've got multiple wallets, you're not paying $150 to back up a single wallet. You can back up a bunch of wallets quite cost effectively with it.
Oh, I like how it's a matrix system. So you're not actually stamping letters into metal. You are just, it's positional. It's position based.
Yeah. So you pin punch your words into it. If someone was just to see it at a glance, it would make no sense to them, because it's sort of
cool as well.
Yeah. So it's sort of relatively, it's not encoded, but it's not obvious what the words are.
Because let's be honest, if anyone these days, crypto has become adopted widely enough that if you see 12 or 24 words written down on a piece of paper, you know what's up. So it's,
So it's,
one thing I was struck by that, one thing I was struck by when I received mine was just how hard, like they look so durable. They are like so thick and hard wearing. They actually look like you could just like have them in they could be in a very hot fire and nothing, would happen to them.
Yeah, nice.
They are very, very hard, hard wearing.
And
thanks for leading me on to that. Yeah, I did. I actually fire tested all of these things. So they're laser etched. So when the laser etches them, it's done at like crazy high temperatures into stainless steel, and then I've actually gone and chucked them into a firebox and tried to roast them to see that they would stay intact, and they managed to stand up to it. So,
the other thing I like about this, it looks faster to do it. The one that I was doing, and I didn't have enough of these things to do all my hardware wallets, because I've got so many hardware wallets. So I'll definitely get some of these to do the rest of them. But with this one, it was like you'd pop these little metal letters out of these sheets, and then you have to slide them in, and then it had a guard that goes over the top. So you're like finding the sheet with the letter, popping it out, going in, sliding it in, then next letter. This one, you would just look for the letter and bang, look for the letter, bang, like rather than.
Do you want me to tell you why
fiddle around with this?
Yeah. Now that we're onto it, I'll tell you why I don't like the one you've used.
Yeah, hit it. Yeah, do it.
Okay, two things. So when they're actually subjected to a lot of heat, the outside casing remains intact, but the little tiles inside buckle and can change position.
Fuck.
So when you store your seeds, it shouldn't be on something with little tiles or things you slide on.
Also, it looks like the letters are printed onto the metal. Like it doesn't look like the letters are actually, they're not like stamped in. It looks like it's kind of like printed on top.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's laser etched. That's fine.
So you reckon the letters themselves won't disappear?
Yes, the tiles can, because they're very thin metal on those tiles, they'll buckle and change under the heat.
Okay.
So if you're going,
there's a rich tattoo artist walking around. I reckon. sorry, mate.
That's cool.
Sorry.
One other thing, tangent. So, and this is, when you back up a seed word, it should be permanent, can't be changed, can't be altered. So if you've got those little tiles and I could just imagine those little tube ones where you've had it locked away for 10 years and you go to recover and you pull the little tube out and open it up. And everything's out of order.
Man.
So
yeah.
So that's
you're right that this doesn't rely on anything staying in the right order or whatever. It's literally it is just like it is how it is. Yeah.
These are bare bones. They don't look like crazy. They haven't got emblems on them telling people what it is. It's just a blank piece of metal with one side etched that you stamp and it's permanent.
Yep, and it works and it's good.
Yep.
Yes, no, definitely.
What's the site again? And maybe
they're good. Oh well, I posted it twice now. It's hexsafe.win.
I have you.
You can see it
so
in
from
the captions
hexsafe.win,
as well.
you can get through to my site.
We'll spell it out one more time. Hexsafe.win. There you go.
I just put someone in time. I think we've just for the hell of it. Hey,
I think we've pumped my site enough now. Thanks, guys.
The crypto steel capsules, I've tried those as well. Yeah, I do. Anyway, what else? What's going on?
Hey guys, I'm going to have to duck out because my battery is about to die. So, have a good night, guys, and
cheers, man.
I'll see you.
What's the full treat? All right, buddy.
See you, mate.
Good to talk to you.
Hey guys.
43.
See you next time.
Hey guys, I think I'm out too. I had to work till 8 o'clock tonight, so I'm knackered and I've got to get up and start again.
Oh, that sounds like an excuse to me.
I know, but I want to come and say hi because I always love seeing you guys and everyone in the chat. So I'll see you next week.
We can't get you.
Cheers, Sammy. Really good to see you.
Good to see you too. Cheers. Bye.
See you, mate. See you, mate.
Sammy.
Love you.
Okay. What was everyone's favorite Hex news or Hex moment this week? Standout? Was there any standout events or things that happened in Hex?
Can I let you guys talk? I'm just going to do something in the background for someone that's just asked.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, gee, you go, Bluey. I think I'm in the category of A. Couldn't care. B, don't give a shit. But yeah, that's right. Still,
Yeah, I was
go,
quite
mate.
enjoying.
You go, mate.
Yeah, I was quite enjoying the troll, the dramas, people telling people off and people getting angry and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there going, "What are you getting angry about all this for? It's just crazy." And so, doing the odd, trying to lighten moments a little bit. And I watched. I still don't understand all the hate for Clay of Nomics. I think that's a bit overboard. Like, I understand that we don't like that. I think it's a bit overboard. I think it's just.
I'm going to take a hard line on that. I'm going to take a hard line on that one. But yeah, that's good.
Really.
We're not. Yeah, a really hard line.
See, that just to me makes no sense.
Fuck them. No, it does. It doesn't matter.
Fair enough. I'm not going to tell you how to react.
It's like we're all different, eh? We're all different, so we all got to have our own entitled to position on it, and that's I've taken a position on that.
I can see, I
And,
can hear it. Yeah. I just don't understand the anger, like.
I think it's good when we don't.
I'm not angry.
agree
I
on
couldn't give a rat.
stream,
I
so
couldn't
that
give a
becomes
rat's
like,
ass.
so you hear both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I started off not really that upset about it, but then I think as time went on, it was one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, Hex doesn't need any shit. And then later I was like, fuck this.
I actually like
you know what I mean?
it.
Like, you think you're calm about something, but then when it sinks in, you actually get mad.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it'll hurt us that much, and I think that it's like
It's irrelevant.
List us as, like I've never looked at CoinGecko and then they've listed it, have they? And like both are and CoinMarketCap's completely ridiculous compared to those two, and I just think that it's going to be about us getting the word out. It's got nothing to do with people as to whether they're staring at these index sites and what they think is where. And what I liked about it was that it really highlighted the ridiculousness of market cap and how you can't compare things according to market cap because there's too much nuance in all of these coins. There's a big difference between proof of work and proof of stake. It's like and the coin it's an uncomparable metric by which to compare, and so it's just ridiculous. And I think I love it. I love that Hex is like it's like acupuncture for the crypto space. You know what I mean? It's like it digs in and it's like pressing in and like letting all of that kind of stuff out, and you have to go and kind of realize at a deeper level what a cap is and what's happening in the space and all of that kind of stuff. So I like that it all comes out, and I feel a little bit, look, I'll admit I feel a little bit sorry for Clay. He comes across to me as someone with good intentions, and he wasn't doing anything good for his site by doing this. Like, he was making the hard decision, and in his world, that's what he thought was a more truthful way of looking at it. And like, and
I think the best argument I saw was it was either Motley Investor or Super Hexwin. I'm sorry, I sometimes get those guys confused. Saying it's fine if you want to change the way you calculate your shit, but it has to be applied equally to all coins. You can't just pick one.
But it is.
No, I don't think they did the same calcs across all coins.
They haven't taken Satoshi's coins out of Bitcoin, have they?
Well, they try to. Like when I was reading the comment section of the blog post, his metrics person was in there, and he was saying, yeah, we do look at that, and we do talk to the teams, and we do try to keep it equal. But the problem is that market cap is not something that you can equally compare because of the differences in these cryptos, and
that's a fair call.
I haven't looked into it, so I don't know if they are not treating everyone on the same basis. I think that probably comes from the fact that Hex is so transparent and Hex community is so onto it that we have Gunter, who has done the absolute deep dive on all of these wallets and all of these whales and everything like that. So we know exactly what's happening in the Hex space, and in these other coins, people haven't done it. Like, it's not easily available information. And so, and I got the impression, I could be wrong, is that if we did a deep dive on whatever and we pointed out, well, this and this and this and this, like, and people are arguing, oh, it's not our job. And it's like, it's not our job, but it's like you can't get to complain about it by the same token, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's like, look, everyone has their reactions, and I think it's all fine and great. I think it actually adds to the drama and brings attention and eyeballs to Hex. And I'm like happy for there to be drama, to be perfectly honest. And I think it brings out all of the truth by going into it all like this. And I'm totally, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I was wrong about Nugget, that's for sure.
No,
I don't know what's going on behind the
You can go eat a
scenes.
dick with Clay then, because I'm not having that either. But yeah, that's all right.
Does Gerardo have a does anyone know Gerardo's Twitter account? I'm trying to find that thing. I want to excite you guys with those bands that show the potential hex prices depending on where we go in those bands. It's basically like the exponential growth bands, and then because right now we're pretty much at the bottom of that band.
I'll put it in. Just give me a sec. I'll put it in chat for you.
Perfect.
I do think though that it's not worth it getting angry over. Like, guys,
I'm not angry. I couldn't give a rat's ass, mate. I couldn't care. Like I'm chilled as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm chilled as fuck.
Okay,
mate.
I'm just pointing out that there was anger coming out from a lot of the community members.
Oh, I know there was.
Guys, you've
because that's hurting the whole community. They're shilling garbage.
Really. I mean,
they're putting lies.
Really? It's not. No,
yes.
It's not. No, it's not.
Fucking is.
I mean, really. I mean, okay.
It harms the whole community. It hampers adoption. It hampers adoption.
I'm not saying whether it was justified or not. What I'm saying is that something like that happens, you have a choice. You can laugh it off and point out how they're all wrong and go and shill and go and tell people about hex and make them understand it, or you can spend your time getting angry about it.
I'm not angry about it. I've got better things to do, mate. Exactly that. Thank you. No worries.
Yeah, so I'm pointing out like that,
No, I think that's this is pretty much
your respect, mate. I'm not having a crack at you. I'm not saying it's not you. I respect your opinion. I do.
I think this is pretty much evident why there's been so much back and forth on Twitter and the like is everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and there's hexagons go pretty hardcore on people.
Yeah, I know. They're passionate and
we're very one-eyed on that respect, and then you've got Nomics, which is they're running their own business, and then somewhere in between there's probably the truth. But it's hard. Like I understand where he's coming from, and I understand why
that was a hand grenade of a question there.
Yeah, I understand why the hexagons are
unintentional, but I've got some. Unintentional, but if you pull up my screen, I've got this. So obviously, the chart that this is referring to is on his website, which is lookintohex.com. But just take my word for it that this is based on basically an exponential growth rainbow band, similar to the ones you've seen in Bitcoin that show the shit, or for the viewers going up like that, I think. And it shows that right now we're down here, which is right at the bottom of that of those bands. And that theoretically, because obviously as time goes on, those prices are rising, even though the rate of rise slows down. And it's got some prices in here that you can look at of what would happen if we went to the top of the band. So if we went right to the very top around, say, January, so start of next year, Hex would be at $5.26. And I mean, that should blow your mind, right? But it's within the band. It's not as insane as it. So looking at that, people will be like, wait, what? Buy something for 22 cents right now and it could be like $5 in literally less than a few months. That's how many months away? It's like less than 3 months away, you know?
It's hard to process.
It's hard to imagine, but it's actually possible. And so
look at what we've done so far. Yeah.
This to me would be my pick, to answer my own question that I pitched out to everyone of like, what was the thing that you saw in Hex that excited you the most, or that you were most, your favorite news? This was it for me. I thought this was pretty joy.
Yeah, it really gets to the point of being very difficult to imagine that world. Like,
what have we seen every time? So let's reflect back to that chart we were just looking at where we said, looks like we've gone back to that average. And I made a comment that I was surprised that more people didn't pile in. But market psychology is everyone wants to wait and see, is this really the bottom? Are we going to go down again? And inevitably, they'll all miss the best buying opportunity. And it won't be until we get up to the close to all-time highs again, that's when everyone will pile in. And that's when you see the effects of what Tangent's just shown, is when everyone starts piling in, you get that massive FOMO. And now everyone goes, oh, this is going again. And they've missed out on the 70 or 80 or probably, I think it's 150% gain they could have had to get back to all-time high. But they'll jump on once the herd said, yeah, we're going again.
Yeah.
So when do you reckon $1? When do you reckon
Jexxa's right. The exact psychology that makes people panic sell bottoms and FOMO in at tops is at play right now and will prevent the majority of people from actually buying a good dip buying opportunity. And I don't want to make it sound like it's easy. I'm not saying, it's super easy to pick bottoms. It's not. But it's that same psychology that stuffs up most retail market participants that's at play here, that gives them the disbelief that they just can't imagine that the price could actually ever go up to these highs. But this is the chart that last graphic was based on. And you can see right here where we've actually just gone. I'm going to get my cursor out of the way because it's messing it up. But we've basically just dipped down almost to that lowest band. And you can see those other colors. Those colors match with these colors. So these are the same colors, the light purple, dark purple, light blue. You can see those same colors here. So it does run on the assumption that HEX will continue an upward growth on an exponential scale chart, just like in a similar way that Bitcoin did in terms of adoption and growth.
And that's why the network effect is so important, and that's why it's important to get the word out, the message in the bottle, the outbound messaging. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone that you care about, strangers,
and
people
now
in the street.
And now is the perfect time because it looks
get them saved
at the nice bottom of a dip, and so you can onboard with confidence that they're not going to get jumped.
I was a bit worried. Exactly. Because when you're giving them, helping them on board, and you're a little bit like, because when I was in it was just dollar cost average. I didn't care what the price was. I just buy and stake, accumulate when you're in that early stage of when you're coming into the coin. But yeah, now when like you see people that have only got limited funds to come in, and it means a lot, and you got to account for all the fees as well. And I guess you could say, look, hey, 28 days or something on average, you should break even. But if I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if the chart. I don't know. I'm not a TA guy. I'm not anything. But but you just don't feel good at yourself if you've led someone in and then they bought it at 40 cents and then it goes down to 20 or something like that. And then you've got to go. Oh, we've been through it heaps of times. We've been through it. We got through 7 dips.
This is a good point. That the risk of the dip of their dip from an entry point here is low. You've reduced the downside risk because we've already dropped quite a bit.
Now is yes, exactly right.
Especially critically that we are in a strong bull market, in my opinion. So that same comment that I just made would not apply if we were in an early to mid bear market. I'm only able to make that comment because in my opinion, we're in a strong bull market. So the likelihood of us dipping more than 65% on a coin that's as quality as HEX is very low, in my opinion.
So with this market cycle, this 4-year market cycle, that everyone thinks that everything's going to follow the Bitcoin cycle, essentially.
The halving.
I mean, don't you guys think that where the world is at the moment, and with governments printing ad infinitum, I mean, surely that has a big effect, and like even more of an effect than this cycle, which is really just a kind of halvening cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then you lead into the whole theory of what if this is the super cycle?
The last, some Bitcoin maxis are calling it the last cycle, i.e. There'll obviously still be volatility, but it'll be more of a sort of you don't go into like a full long extended bear market. It just basically is always going.
An extended bear. I mean, just the way governments are printing money, I don't know how you go into an extended bear.
Well, we kind of did have a sort of a mini bear market over the last. So I know. Obviously, for HEX, it's out of sync because HEX is typically going up when everything's going down. But if you just look at the crypto market as a whole, there was a fairly extended bear market that we just went through, and that was in amongst ridiculous money printing that we've at the level we've never seen before. So I think
it's back up to like it's only over 6 months, and it's back up.
I'm saying that still occurred, like that somewhat extended or mid to long. You know what I mean? So I think it's not enough to be able to, because obviously it's that problem where logic does not necessarily always conform with market movements.
How much
You know
do you?
what I mean?
But how much do you think that this has? Because like all of these, like Bitcoin, really, and along with everything else, it's very much a speculative asset. So that's why you have those cycles, because it is it's like mass psychology, right? But
Well,
Hex,
it's starting to be accepted as more than just a speculative instrument. It's starting to be accepted as an inflation hedge and a more sound money. You know, a more scarce asset.
Well, that's the narrative.
You know? And by the way, this all applies to Hex as well. Like everything I'm saying here positively also applies to Hex.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't apply, because Hex has that speculative value of that psychological thing of going up or down according to mass psychology. But it's also got those fundamentals of people locking it away because they're earning from staking. And we've never seen that in the crypto space. We've never seen upward pressure on price.
It has all the positive aspects of Bitcoin that make it a better, far superior money to anything that has ever existed in human history. All the critical aspects of what makes a good money. Bitcoin absolutely shits on everything that has ever existed in every category, with the exception of one, is fungibility, because obviously the blockchain is too transparent compared to, say, United States cash. Is not traceable, etc. It's more fungible. But apart from fungibility, every other category, it absolutely smokes it. And then Hex comes in and is...
Oh, stop mucking up my stream there, Tangent. Jesus Christ, mate.
I was just about to say Hex comes in and is good on all those same reasons, but then also has the additional benefit of
being programmed.
So sorry, uNrekt. I was building to a Hex positive. I was building to a Hex. It wasn't just because you cut me off. I was actually building to a Hex positive comment that Hex has all those positive attributes of being a better money, but then also has the lockability, like the lockability, staking ability to earn interest.
Audit security, 100% uptime.
And so what was the debate? Of whether.
See, the thing is, right? The thing is that the only reason we talk about these 4-year cycles, it's because everything follows Bitcoin, because everything is paired with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has this 4-year halvening cycle. But Hex is outside of that, and we are decorrelated from that.
Certainly provably decorrelated.
Yeah. So up until this point, yes. The true test for me will be, okay, what happens in a bear market? I think we're going to do really well, because people can't dump. Like that's what it's designed to do.
Thanks, Hexcon, for the super chat. Hexcon, good on you, mate. Much appreciated.
I'm very confident that if I had to hold anything going into a bear market, Hex is the one.
Same. I'm more confident to be holding Hex than anything else if we go into a proper bear market, which by the way, my vote is that we do. Like, as in, I think the people who think that this whole idea of super cycles and last cycles and that sort of thing, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like Richard Hart says, it's like the economic energy to move the price of Bitcoin is this much, and the economic energy to move the price of Hex is probably, it's like a smaller boat going around the outside of a bigger boat, isn't it?
Yeah. Speedboat.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Maybe
a wave.
It's incredible. It's amazing. It is a truly innovative product, and it's a.
I guess we won't know until after. I guess we won't know until after like 8 years. Really?
Yes. More data. We need more data. We definitely need more data.
I think that Richard Hart is given. Well, it was good to see that he graced us with his presence today and back on the stream and back in fine form. And
proof of life.
He's given that. He's done that. He's done that out of the goodness of his heart, given a gift to the world. And I think that is something that should be admired and respected, because that's got that product is got so much potential. It can change the world. It will change the world. It will save lives. It can prevent wars. Perhaps it can change. We can fix the money. We can fix the world. I know that's been said. That might be a cliche, but
That's a
it's
quote
true.
I love.
It worked.
Yep.
It's So, but yeah, I'm not. I know you love. I know you love your BTC tangent, and I do get you, mate. I understand. I've heard you explain it. I watch your streams all the time, and I understand what you're saying as well. And I like to hear it from you because some of those other Bitcoin maxis are just wankers.
Oh, it's terrible, hey? Yeah. It's the greatest experiment, economic experiment and social experiment the world has ever seen. Like, it's just astounding, hey? We got a show down.
I think
we're coming up to time. What are we going to do to close out? Oh, sorry, Jexxa.
Yeah, I've got something I want to get off my chest.
Announcement.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this has been something that's been happening along in the background for a little while now, but this is the first time I'm coming out publicly and stating this. But I've actually joined the Liquid Loans team. So I'm part of helping those guys bring this product to market. I know this is usually about Hex and everything on this stream, but we are having to sort of change it up a little bit now with Pulse. So I won't be promoting Liquid Loans every time on here, but I do want to make it public that I am part of the team. So for future reference. And
congratulations.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
I'm the chairman of directors for Bitcoin as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, so just so.
But I do want to spend a couple of minutes just having a quick chat about it now and why I've joined the team, just so there's a bit of context and people understand where I'm coming from. Firstly, the guys behind it, they're hexagons, their heart's in the right place. So I'm talking specifically about the two founders that are based out of Australia. I've had an existing relationship with one of those prior to me getting involved in Liquid Loans, or prior to us even talking about Hex through
and
other.
You can go back to one of our previous episodes where we had who we have?
Jesse. We had Jesse on.
We had Jesse on, and we talked about it in a bit more detail.
In other business activities that I do outside of Hex, I've known this particular person through those ventures as well. So we do have a bit of an existing relationship there. But the real reason why I've come on board with that is the potential I see for it, and I see it as a win-win. So for Pulse, it's going to be fantastic. For Hex, I think it's going to be complementary as well. And while a lot of people look at this as a simple loan platform, and that's the way they're viewing it, I see it as so much more. This has got some really good opportunities for the Pulse and the Hex community to become owners of a protocol that is going to it's going to mean a really big thing on the PulseChain. And just give me a moment to explain, because there's a lot that's going on in the legacy finance world with regards to stablecoins and how they're going to get heavily regulated. So if you've got a centralized stablecoin like USDC, what else? Paxos, USDT, they're going to get under significant fire by probably mid next year. And that's going to take the form of a lot of tracking and tracing. If you send coins from a mixer or something like that, and then you go buy some USDC or another stable coin that's centrally operated, they will be obligated to potentially report, block, freeze your funds. So it's a big deal if the Hex community and the Pulse community can have ownership of a protocol that mints a stable coin. I think we can all agree that stablecoins are important. Love them or hate them. We probably all hold a little bit or use them from time to time. If we have a community-owned one that is purely decentralized, I think that is just an absolute game changer for the PulseChain and for the owners of that protocol.
Yep.
There's a lot more similarities with Hex. So between Liquid Loans and Hex, there is so many similarities, it's not funny. There's no governance. There's no bolted on governance token. None of that bullshit that we see in this crypto market exists with it. That's a big thing. The main token, the loan token, is not a governance token, but it gives you ownership in the underlying protocol. It's huge. It is that big, guys. Well,
we get champagne and dancing girls.
Yeah, and you will. What you also don't know is the underlying mechanisms that pay out the rewards within the liquid loan system. They work very similar to the way T-shares work, in a way that it's got to be gas efficient to calculate. You know how we simulate compounding interest in HEX? This has to do a very similar thing, the way it has to pay out rewards and fees. So there's a lot of things when you look through the design of the system, it is very much like HEX. No one controls it. It's going to be completely decentralized. It's a big thing. It's much more than just a loan platform, and that's why I've decided to come on board with these guys and usher this in.
Well, that's very
and I know they've got the best of the Hexagon community at heart when they're doing this. So they're
nice.
Have you got a role?
Capable team, yeah, and you're very capable.
You've already seen the guys that are working hard in the liquid loans chat. What you're not understanding is the guys that are sitting behind that, their experience and what they're doing as well.
Wow.
Sorry, Bluey, you had a question?
Do you have a specific role in that?
Yeah, I do. Now, I've never been one that's big on titles and things like that. But I
love trumped up titles.
I love trumped up titles.
That's why I put Chairman of Directors for Bitcoin on my Twitter handle.
And look, we're still refining how that's going to look. There is a working title, but I won't say that just yet. What I am going to be working on a lot is exchange integrations, things like that. So I'm predominantly in the Asia Pac region, but there's a lot of things that I want to do that are all about driving adoption for Pulse. Okay, so it's important we get Pulse on these exchanges and get that listed, and that will flow through into things like liquid loans. And
did you see when Steph came on?
Awesome.
Did you see when Steph came on?
Yeah, I did.
Hang on, shut up, uNrekt. Did you see when Steph came on and he talked about how?
Whose stream is it now, Bully? You fucking shut your. You just watch yours. You just watch yourself there, boy. Oh,
he gave him the controls.
Just
my invention.
Fair enough, fair call, uNrekt. So just how it was difficult. Like they thought the first thing to do would be go to people who had all of those licenses already to try to get those fiat on ramps, and now they're kind of moving towards doing it themselves, getting the lawyers and all of that in place. So, are you guys going to be at the stage of approaching existing licensees first?
Yeah, so obviously we're still got to feel our way through this. There's a big difference between individually getting HEX listed on an exchange and talking to an exchange about a fork of Ethereum that they're going to hold a massive bag of tokens in. Okay, it's a completely different conversation, I think. So that's the angle I'll be working from, is more an awareness for these exchanges about what's coming, what they should be doing, and look, if you get a knockback from one exchange, there'll be one that'll take it on.
Yeah, right. And did you say Asia? You're going to ones in Asia or in Australia as well, or?
Yeah, Asia Pac is so Australia and our segment, but that there's obviously that flows over into other regions as well. So I've got a few. There's not just that. There's a few other things I'm working on in the background which I don't really want to talk about at the moment. That's
amazing.
I mean, that sounds really exciting.
And that really is a big piece of the jigsaw puzzle that we need. Those direct fiat on ramps.
Yep. Look, everyone, like in of itself, Liquid Loans is a loan lending platform to be able to free up the equity that you hold in your coins is massive. It is truly massive, but the potential to bring a decentralized stablecoin owned by the Pulse and Hex community is next level, in my opinion.
Yep.
Hey, question from the chat, and obviously you don't have to answer this if it's something that is not able to be disclosed yet. Ash asked, will there be an airdrop or airdrops?
Yeah, look, I won't comment on any of that.
That's cool.
There's public information out there. If you go to the
so anything that's publicly knowable is on where? Where's the best place to go?
In Liquid Loans in the Telegram chat.
Pinned messages.
Yep, definitely pinned messages. There's talk about the sacrifice there, so have a look at that.
And can I just throw in, from the moment I heard about it and as I found out more and more about that project, I went from excited to more excited to fucking excited to just like, just blowing my mind in terms of like game changingness. And I'm actually envious that you are involved in the project, man. Like, well done, congrats. If you were going to associate yourself with anything,
you deserve it.
Jexxa
deserves it, man.
Stepping up
and obviously, I'm not counting like Hex and Pulse. Obviously, I've got mad love for, obviously. But those projects are obviously, it's sort of Richard's decision on who, it would be much more difficult to become involved in those sorts of projects officially. I think this,
Awesome. Like you, mate, when I first went over the white paper and I started looking at the audits and things like that, and
fell in love.
Instantly I said, it's beautiful the way it's designed. It's everything Hexicans will love.
No admin keys. Yep.
None of that. Now,
just legit.
Like anything, you give someone a DEX, they'll trade themselves into oblivion. You give them Hex and they'll end stake themselves into oblivion. So it doesn't matter what tool you give people. If it's
always some way someone would nuke themselves.
You'll screw
people
it up.
A hammer, they'll smash themselves in the face with it.
That's right. So that's another thing I want to focus on is how do we use this platform responsibly? And how do we make the most of it so that people aren't doing that to themselves? So that's my big focus on this. But yeah, you're right. It's beautiful in its design. I think.
We're coming up to. That's really good, really, really good. I'm just conscious of the time. We do tend to get less hits when we drag them out over the
all good.
But longer. But so do we want to do the Oracle? Do we want to do some price checks on all 5?
Let's see who won. Who won the Oracle for this week?
Oh, you've got me on the hop. Hang on. Have a little chat for a second while I get that.
I've got a story for you. You want to hear a story?
Please.
I was out at a country pub. I won't say where. It was out at a country pub, and there was like all sports memorabilia on the wall, and it was a photo or like a framed picture of Roger Federer with Federer. Roger Federer, number 1 tennis player in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, like signed and everything. And I was with this girl, and she said, "Oh, I've met him," and I went, "Oh, bullshit," I mean, that's natural. And then she's like, "Yeah, no, I went back to his." I went, "So what was that when you were a stripper? You went back to his place when you were?" And she's like, "Yeah." So he went back to Roger Federer's apartment with
allegedly.
No, and with his bodyguard and everything. And so I said, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh well, that's pretty impressive. Was he a good root? How was he?" And she's like, "No, I knocked him back." And so, whereas I've had like the full back 9, front 9, hole in one. So I've outperformed the world number 1 tennis player.
Oh my gosh.
So write me off at your peril. Write me off at your peril.
I'm sort of regretting I asked you to have that conversation. All right, Tangent, what's the price tag, man?
Right now we are 22.5 cents.
Oh, boom. Someone nailed it. All right. Give me a second.
Not me.
Oh, hang on. Technical issues.
I think price has been going up over the last little bit of this stream.
Yeah, it's probably us. So what are your predictions for next week? What do you reckon, Tangent?
A week from now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to believe this. My God, uNrekt.
uNrekt got it.
Did he get it?
You're not.
We had a few winners, actually. Hang on 1 second. Bring that up now.
Roger Federer won.
For a tennis player, he's not a very good. Apparently one of those.
He just might have just not had a very good end game.
Yeah, he couldn't execute. Yeah, he couldn't close the deal.
Couldn't close.
All right, you pop that up there, uNrekt. So our Oracle of the Week, excluding can you chuck that up on the screen, mate?
This one.
Yep. So the Oracle of the Week, excluding anyone actually on stream, was Stephen. I think it's McClatchy, is it?
Oh, Stephen, well done. Stephen McClatchy.
He's always in chat every week. I'm sure he'd be here now. I'd be surprised if he's not.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen any questions from him today, so maybe.
No, maybe he's not in. If he normally is asking questions, isn't he?
Yeah. But uNrekt, man, you've done it again.
Whoa!
How many times is that? Oh,
I don't know. More than anyone else on the stream, that's for sure.
At least one more than anyone else on stream, I think, because there were a few people tied, right? Wow. There were a few of us that were tied. It was like, I think maybe Day 43, Sammy and uNrekt were all tied for they'd all had 3 each or some shit like that. And so yeah, uNrekt's got the crown.
I'll take it.
Everyone was pretty close this week. There was a lot around I was only 22, so everyone was around the 20s. So good job, people.
Everyone's getting more bearish as the weeks go on.
more. Yeah. So now I reckon this next week, this is going to be a tricky one to pick. We sort of we had some levels to work
sideways. Is it pumping?
Have you pumped the link into the chat for everyone to put their guesses in for next week?
Hang on, I'll get that going.
I'm going to go with 32.7 cents.
Woohoo!
I will you if you get that, I'll be so happy.
So someone's going to have to put it in the YouTube comment for me.
uNrekt's probably the only one with permission to do it.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, I try to be an adult sometimes. All right, here we go. Everyone, how about it?
So what do you got? What are you guys going to guess?
I'm going to go 29 cents. I'm going to go 29 cents.
Solid.
I'm going 32.
Hang on, didn't Tangent say 32?
I'm 32.7.
All right,
32.7.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go back to what I said a couple of weeks ago. 35 cents.
Woo! Everyone's
nice.
30.
Everyone's jumping back on the bull train.
Oh, I always got to. But then I don't know. I'm just like throwing darts at the wall. I was going to say I was going to use my old cliche. It's harder to pick than a broken nose, isn't it? But since I'm so good at getting it right.
Yeah, I've been throwing darts. I haven't even worked out where the wall is.
That's why I wanted you guys to give me the answers today. I was like trying to pick your brains about what the hell's going on.
So I guess you could say that we're all assuming that we either have bottomed or that we will bottom within the next week.
Oh, you'd think, hey?
Okay.
And I think that's a very reasonable
that makes sense.
assumption.
Yeah, so it was like a bull trap.
There's a few bears out. A few bears out there. We've got.
Well, have you got? Hey, can you see the guesses starting to roll in?
43.
Day 43.
Oh, 43. Oh,
I thought
he's the one dumping on our heads. That one.
That's it. He knows something.
He's tornado mixing it and dumping it. He's like,
how are the accusations towards people to dumping with no actual evidence that it was their wallet? Like, you're dumping. No, you're dumping. You're the one dumping. Stop dumping.
Oh, that's funny. We have a lot of fun.
What did you guess, uNrekt?
This week, I've got to open it up and put it in. I was going to say 35 point something.
Good on
you. Yeah, I want to go up. I want to go high.
All right, you've been pretty good so far, so I'm counting on you.
Last time I went up to 35 and I was way out. So, but this time, hopefully, I just have the feeling.
What do you go to the horses a bit, do you, mate?
Oh no! Lately, I've been just having a bit of a. It's funny that because like I go off gut instinct.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you go at the horses?
Yeah, and I get, you know what I did? You know, I stuffed myself up. I was down at the thing, and I picked the winner. It was I'm trying to remember the name of the horse. I picked the winner, and then I thought, no, I said I'll just get a little bit cute. I'll go the one horse up, and then put money on the one horse up. Even though I knew that was the winner, I didn't want to.
Oh, you felt it? You felt that one in your bone?
I keep winning all the time wherever I go, and then. So I thought I just put myself. I just didn't want to be such a smart ass picking the winner all the time. So I jinxed myself. So anyway,
all right, well let's see if you can keep up your run then.
Well, it's just for fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. What are we doing? Answer.
I think we're just about there, aren't we?
We're just about finished for the week. Look, it's been a great show.
I thought that was a good stream. I thought that was good.
Yeah, we have barely touched scratched the surface. I mean, you know, all of you blokes have got really interesting things to say, and we love all the comments in the chat. It keeps us going, and it's a pity we couldn't get Expensive Taste to come on. And I've also asked Alchemist Jess, who's doing some of the graphic design now for the thumbnails and things like that, a bit of clickbait to try and just expand the awareness of Hex, the outbound messaging for Hex crypto. We believe it's the best crypto. We love it. We love talking about it. And I know that there's a lot of Pulsekins coming in here and want to talk about Pulse, but look, the thing is, right, I can't keep up with all of the information that's out there, and it's you guys are probably more across it, but until it comes out, until we know what's actually going to happen.
There's one thing you talked about the most exciting thing you've seen. I don't know if anyone mentioned this when I had my head down doing stuff, was the tweet from crypto.com.
Crypto. Oh, yeah. Well, that's
a good one. I forgot about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good one too.
So I know that wasn't an on-ramp and it wasn't part of their normal wallet. It's part of their DeFi wallet. But how many followers would they have?
Yeah.
That's a scam.
It's a step, right? Like, as in, they might take it to that next level.
Well, it is at least a recognition in the market, which has been hard for.
Yeah. Yes.
And that would have gone up on anyone that was getting notifications on their phone.
Yep.
That would have appeared on it.
I
don't know how many downloads. If you got 5 minutes, just
it's the number one. It's the number one at least on Google Play Store.
Is that true?
Sorry. Let me clarify. When you search the word crypto, it comes up as the number one above Coinbase, probably because it's got the word crypto in its app name.
Yeah.
But anyone who types the word crypto into the Play Store on Google, it is literally the first thing that comes up is crypto.com. So I think, once my 10x card stopped working, I wanted to get the that swipe or whatever, the SXP one, and they never supported Australia. So I ended up going with crypto.com, and now that's the only crypto credit card I've got at the moment, or crypto debit card is a crypto.com card. So, I'm a user of their.
How many installs do you think their DeFi wallet has?
Oh, no idea. 10,000?
Over 1 million.
Fuck! Boy, what? Wow, how is that possible? Is there even 1 million people in crypto yet? Has adoption got to that level?
That's it.
That's huge, man. I'm joking, by the way, but that's huge.
So the highlight wasn't actually Richard Hart saying that he hates cats.
The highlight should have been him telling that guy to suck his balls, but this is up there. This is up there. That is up there.
That's
over 1 million downloads. Damn.
It's individual users, pretty much, isn't it? It's good to know those kind of stats.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a great stream. We appreciate all and every one of you out there doing the good work for putting the awareness out for Hex. And I'll try this little thing there. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you.